All right, guys, so I was just driving around, actually trying to find some people for keys. I pulled past this place. Now, let me flip this around. Hopefully you can see this absolutely massive, gorgeous building. So when I first came back from college, as I mentioned before, I worked at Sprint. But in the summertime, I worked here at Coca. But let me tell you, it didn't look anything like this. This place is absolutely laid out now. It is so beautiful. But I'm gonna take you past some of the places where I taught. So I taught Legomation summer camp. It was a lot of fun, guys. But like, look at this. None of this was here when I worked here. In fact, these windows right here were the outdoor windows. When I first came back, they asked me could I work in the summer, and this was probably my second or third summer working here. And I would teach like Legomation. We had a Harry Potter summer camp we did. I taught videography, like all kinds of stuff. Look at this. This was the main hall. Now it's just the west wing. All of this was outside the building. So everything you see to the left is new. This was all outdoors. So I remember I came back to work here, and I didn't need to work here because I was working at Sprint, and that honestly paid more money. Oh man, I remember this hall. But I came here because it was fun. Man, I loved working here. It was so much fun. Oh, I remember being in this dance studio here. Let me show you where my classroom was. The way I learned about this place was my mom. Oh, okay, so this right here, this studio, boys, this is the studio where my mom taught photography classes. It's not open. She had that one, and then sometimes she'd be in this other studio here. And so, you know, she got me a job here. This is one of my first jobs I ever had, was here at Coca. You know, the kids used to love me. All of the teachers used to love me. And it was one of the most fun jobs I ever had. Man, it's just so crazy being back here. So like in this room here, we do all kinds of stuff in here, but like at the end of the summer, at least at the end of the sessions, this was like a little gallery. And so we would put stuff up in here, and sometimes the kids would eat in here, and they'd always play out here in the grass. And here, if you want to see what this place used to look like, here is so you can see, this is the edge of the building that you saw earlier. But yeah, I mean, it was much smaller. But okay, I have to tell you guys a hilarious story though. Now all this stuff is walled in, but when I was here, this wasn't walled in like this. So now this studio here, oh my goodness. And I don't have my tripod on me. But one day we were filming a stop motion music video. And this kid tells me, you know, if you've never done stop motion, right? You gotta like stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture. You know, we're right over here. This kid tells me, he's like, I have to use the bathroom. Now we're like 60 photos into this stop motion video. And honestly, I didn't believe the kid because I'm like, come on, dude, really? And these are not like 6-year-olds, okay? This is like 11, 12, 13. And so he's like, I have to use the bathroom. And the other kids are like, just hold it, just hold it. I'm like, you're all right, man, you can hold it. So we're snapping pictures, right? Stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture. All of a sudden, right over here, this kid just starts peeing on himself, wetting himself, is running down, and I'm just like, dude, are you serious right now? Oh, this kid was just using, and the other two kids was 3 boys. The other 2 kids, they started snickering. I'm like, hey, cut it out. When I tell y'all, it took every ounce of willpower in my entire life not to start laughing. I took him to the office. I told the people in the office he used the bathroom on himself. They gave me his mom's number. I called his mom, and I'm like, hey, you know, so-and-so, we'll call him Jeremy. I don't remember what his name was. You know, Jeremy, he had an accident. We were filming stop motion, and he couldn't move because we were taking pictures. And mom's like, oh, no worries. I have a spare change of clothes in my car. And she's like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. I said, all the time? The boy's 12 years old. What do you mean it happens all the time? Anyway, she comes up, and so you know, I was a good teacher. I kept all 3 of them kids isolated. They all sit in the office, and I told the other 2 kids, I said, now listen, I bet not hear not one of you mention one thing about what happened in that dance studio. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see nobody laughing. I don't want to even hear anybody talking about wet, yellow, nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I said, or you're going to be sitting in the corner for the rest of camp. When I tell you, those 6th, 7th graders, however old they were, they did not say one word for the rest of the camp. And I'll be honest, when I was in 6th, 7th grade, oh my goodness, I think I would have ran to the classroom telling everybody. But man, I felt so bad for that kid. And he was a champ, you know, he changed his clothes, went back to the classroom. We pretended like nothing even happened. And his mom was just so appreciative that, you know, it didn't end up being this nightmare scenario for him. But man, a time to work in a place like this, man.